What's going on, guys? Alex here with 814 EDC, and before I get into a couple of these reviews that I need to film for you guys to watch, I just want to be really honest and transparent with you guys. I haven't really uploaded in I think it's almost been 2 weeks, and I have like 8 knives to review that are part of passaround groups that I need to get filmed and sent out. I probably should have filmed some last week, but I'm going to be brutally honest with you guys. I have been in a mood where I have not felt the desire to film videos. It's been really weird. I've still stayed like up to date on the knife world. I've still, checked out Instagram. I've still been involved in the knife world. I don't know. I guess I've been so busy with life and summer's always a busy time with work and, extracurriculars, doing stuff with my fiance, with my family. I don't have a whole lot of time even for my friends right now. I was in a wedding 2 weekends ago, and next weekend I'll be moving into an apartment in Pittsburgh with my fiance, which we're both really excited for. Both a little nervous, both a little scared, finally moving out into the real world. But I think I was talking to my fiance about that, and I said, I think with us moving and us having our own space, and part of the reason why I've been, I have not been wanting to film videos is because I never get a whole lot of alone time in my house. I usually come out here and on the side-by-side, or, I can't just get home and most oftentimes, turn on my camera and film a video. I could, but I still don't feel like comfortable doing it, in and around family members. I feel like it's still kind of like they all know I do it. They all know that I film videos. They know when I come out here, it's what I'm doing. There's just something in my mind that's like, okay, it's weird that you're talking to a camera, with people around, you're like talking to yourself. So I don't know. I just want to let you guys know. And I want to apologize for, being a little, sort of vanished off you guys for a little bit. But like I said, with this new apartment and this new space, I've filmed videos with my fiance in the room before. She's like the one person I can actually feel pretty comfortable filming around. She doesn't care. And I can just get home and film, and so hopefully everything will be back to normal, and I'll be able to get more videos out, and I'll be more consistent with videos. But there's even some knives in that I just got in middle of last week, I think, a MBK Sea Otter, which I sold some knives for, which I didn't film an unboxing video because I didn't feel like it at the time, so I just unboxed it and just haven't let you guys know that I've gotten one. Posted on Instagram, but I never did an unboxing or anything like that. So a review will be coming on that. And yeah, so that's kind of a little life update, a little talking to you guys. I wanted to kind of put that little blurb in there before I go into the reviewing of this video. But I have some Kizer knives to talk about. So getting into the topic of Kizer knives, the topic of today's review is the Kizer Aggressor. So this is one of 3 that is in on loan via the Lefty passaround. It's this, the Bugatti, and the original XL. And this is honestly probably my least favorite Kizer I've handled in a while. I'm not a huge fan of this knife. I think the front flipper apparatus, mechanism is just not really that well done on this knife. It's sharp, it's pointy. I wish they would have come up more with it and had a little bit more jimping up around top. So just putting that right off the bat, it's not my best, not Kizer's best knife in my opinion. Probably the least favorite one I've handled from them in a while. But getting right into materials, this is rocking some burlap micarta scales, which I'm not a huge burlap micarta fan, but these feel pretty good and look decent as well. Obviously it's a pass-around knife, so it's going to be, passed around. It's going to be touched by a lot of different people and, oils from your hands and whatnot. But you have a lanyard loop back there, backspacer, a sort of curved clip, loop over style, deep carry. I don't know if this is titanium or steel. I would imagine it's steel, but it's sunk into the scales with countersunk screws, which is really nice. It is only righty carry. You cannot put this on the left side, so if you're lefty, I apologize. Of course, it's a front flipper. You have a stone-washed 154 cm blade. There it says Aggressor, and the designer behind this is Assassin, which I'm not really familiar with as either. But there is the Kizer logo and the 154 cm. And hopefully you guys are picking this up okay. My watch, for some reason, when I tried using the rear facing camera, which is what, you know, I normally film with, it was being really blurry and it wouldn't work correctly. So I'm using my front facing camera. So hopefully, I'm not used to the camera being where it is, but I've done it enough times. I guess I'm a little bit used to it. So hopefully it's looking okay. And again, I'm outside. It's starting to be golden hour, getting some sunlight in here. So hopefully you guys can hear and see everything okay as well. But yeah, it's on bearings. The blade shape, I would say, is a just nice, simple drop point. Comes down to a pretty thin edge. And for blade stock, it's pretty thin as well. So it's a nice cutting blade, nice cutting geometry. But I don't know. It's on bearings. It's dead centered. It's pretty lightweight. I don't know the overall weight to it. But I don't know. Not a huge fan of it. I've gotten a little bit better with it the more I've handled it. But I just think, which I guess we can move right on to action. I think the front flipper was kind of fumbled a little bit. I think it would work so much better if you, again, brought it up just a little bit taller and rounded the jimping over the top of the flipper tab. I just don't know why they didn't do that here. It's just very sharp, and at first I really struggled to get it open, and I never struggle with front flippers. I can always usually manipulate them very well. They never give me too much trouble or anything like that, but for some reason this one did. Quick swig of water there. Excuse me. But like I said, for some reason this one did. You just kind of, you know, with all front flippers, you just have to find the right spot for it, and then eventually after you practice more with it and you get more in tune with it, you know, it'll fire right out. But it's just, I don't know, it's still sharp on my finger. If you do it a lot, you'll kind of make your finger raw with it. But the D10 is pretty snappy once you again find that sort of right spot for it. See, I just missed it right there. And then bangs out, drops close. Yeah, I don't know. Even though I've gotten used to it, I still think it's hard to find it sometimes. You definitely cannot do I mean, I guess you can, but you really have to put a lot of force into it. It's just not intuitive. It's not as fun as other front flippers. Closing action, there's a little bit of blade play, so it's not locked up as light or as tight as it could go. But blade drop is nice and smooth. Kizer usually kills their action, so I've, you know, if you felt a Kizer front flipper, it's probably going to feel just like this. But all in all, action's pretty solid. I wish that, and that's just me being nitpicky. You guys might not think that's a big deal at all. You guys might not care about that. Some of you probably love this knife, and to each their own. But I don't know. It takes away the usability when you have to, you know, it just eats away at the corner of your thumb. Excuse my nasty beat up roofer hands. But yeah, so action, it's decent, could be better, but I've definitely felt worse. I just wish that flipper tab was extended and had jimping over the top like I've suggested. But next up is ergos. The ergos on this are okay. It's kind of a thick, stocky little knife, which is interesting coming from the, you know, very thin blade shape, and then you have the proud liners, which doesn't help, but they're not nested or anything like that, so you can, of course, see them the whole way through. And it's just chunky and it's a little stocky. It doesn't feel, you know, it feels okay. You have plenty of room for a 4-finger grip on there. You can kind of choke up a little bit, but it's not really a choil. It's just kind of the handle. And this gives you a good grip for, you know, push cuts, or, you know, a pinch grip works really well with this. But I don't know. It's okay. The whole knife, I kind of just meh about it. The pot clip does stand a little proud of it. But honestly, you can't feel it too much unless you have huge hands and you're choked the whole way back here on it. Then you can feel it. But in this normal grip, you have about that much sticking up out of the back of your hand. Can I feel it? Yes. But it's not really going to cause much of an issue unless you're just really torquing down on it and it's just, you know, getting into your skin. And I swear, the farther along I get in my videos, the bugs get worse, and it pisses me off every single time. Because for one, I forget bug spray, and for two, bugs are just annoying. But yeah, comfortable, maybe. The micarta is decent. I'm not a huge burlap micarta fan. To me, burlap micarta tends to be a little bit more dry and a little bit more coarse than other micartas. This one's okay. You know, again, it's kind of all been oiled up from being passed around. So it provides an okay grip, but it's not really doing much for me. It's not the worst, but it's not the best, and that's just kind of how I'll leave it. So next up is carry. The pot clip is nice. I do like how the pot clip is sort of, you know, it's shifted with the knife, so it has a little bit of a curvature to it, and it kind of goes from skinny, not skinny, but skinnier up here, and it kind of flattens off and gets fatter here towards the bottom. I like that from an aesthetic standpoint, and it also works pretty well going in and out of your pocket. And of course, you have nothing right here, no sharp edges, no, you know, it's all contoured and rounded off very nicely. So if it's in your pocket and you go down behind or beside it to get, you know, change, medicine, chapstick, anything like that, keys, when you reach down, you have no risk at pulling your hand up and also pulling the knife up out of your pocket. If I'm being honest, I didn't carry this a ton. I carried it, I think, a day or two just to get my thoughts and my opinions on it. But for the most part, it's just kind of sat in my knife case, and I've flicked it a lot. But, you know, after the couple days that I wanted to carry it to get my opinions for the review, it didn't really get a whole lot of carry. And I think I carried it in gym shorts and in my khakis once, and it carries okay. You know, of course, it's not lefty carry, so it's kind of taking away from it. Kizer could have easily tapped some holes here for lefty carry and included a curved clip for lefties. You would have gotten two different pot clips, but, you know, whatever, I guess. So again, carries decent, but again, the whole knife is just kind of meh. And that takes me to my final price, or my final category of price point and what I recommend this knife. So the Aggressor is $69. I think that's fair. You know, I don't think that's a bad price for the materials you're getting. You know, you're getting a decent action, solid micarta, decent micarta. Fit and finish on Kizers is always pretty decent. The action is always nice. So I don't think that's a bad price for this. If you, get out of here, bug. If you like the way this knife looks and you are a fan of front flippers, then I think you should get this knife. You know, because you'll probably get used to this front flipper. You guys can see I can, you know, consistently get it every time almost now. Your thumb will just be sore until you get like really used to it. So I'm not going to go out and recommend it to everybody, but again, if you like the way this knife looks and you are a fan of front flippers and Kizer, then yes, try this knife out. I don't think $70 is going to set you back that much. And I do think Kizer is a good bang for your buck. So is it for me? No. Is it probably my least favorite Kizer I've handled in a while? Possibly, but I don't think it's the worst knife in the world. I do think there are worse things, of course, and it's okay. So it's kind of right in the, you know, middle ground for me. Not the worst, not the best. But when it comes to Kizer, possibly the worst. So we'll see. But yeah, so leave a comment down below. I want to know what your guys' thoughts are on the Aggressor. You know, you're kind of siding with me on the front flipper needing to be a little extended and, you know, more jimped out, or are you perfectly okay with how this knife is now? I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. But this was my full review on the Kizer Knives Aggressor. Huge shout out to Kevin over at Lefty EDC for sending this and the other two around. Of course, Kev, wouldn't get to check out so much without you, so I greatly appreciate you. And as always, go check out Kevin. But odds are, if you're watching me, you're watching Kevin. So, but I'll talk to you guys in the next one. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Slowly creeping towards 1,000. I think I'm at 973 right now. So hopefully, with getting some videos going and getting a new space and just getting some creative juices flowing, we'll pass over that pretty soon. So, but yeah, hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your morning, evening, night, whenever you're watching this. And I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.